Hi there, welcome to Carcassonne Fitsu. Today with the Taiwan Carcassonne Online Championship, a quarterfinal between HotlyHotly and Mrwan1, both rated currently at around 600 elo, both with a lot of experience. And I think both of them accomplished the master rank. HotlyHotly I think has a peak rating over 750 or so, and Mr. 1 cracked the 700s this year, I think, but only barely. So overall, I'd favor HotlyHotly today. Last games played or latest games played. Well, looks like it could be an interesting match. Let's quickly check when these were played. So looks like 5 games this year in HotlyHotly's favor with a 3-2 if we consider it a best of 5. So let's see if this will have any implications. Quick note, later on, 19 UTC, the Ukrainian Carcassonne online chip in second quarter final. But for now, let's focus on Taiwan. So it looks like they have started already. Let's hop in the game and why not use a full screen here. So Mrwan with the blue meeples, HotlyHotly playing yellow today. Interesting decision to use this over here. Likely didn't want to risk the road or using it like this and then risking getting blocked into a starting tile. But leaves this attacking option and yellow jumps on the chance. Now, yellow, of course, is hoping to get one of the 2 remaining cows. Did I say cow? Horse. So the one with the road. Blue threatens an early 10-point city completion here. Yellow, of course, tries to do something about it. Yeah. Do you risk the monastery or not? Do you really defend there? I'm not sure. If you do, come on, put a meeple there. You have 4 in hand. It's the early game. All relevant pieces, so namely the daggers in this case, are still out there. Here we go. There is 1 dagger for you, and you missed out on a juicy monastery. So early lead for Mr.1, but this year is pretty likely to equalize this lead unless blue hits the 25% chance of getting both horses. Hi, Helge. This reminds me, yeah, it works. And now would only need change my audio settings and then I may get a notification once someone says something in chat. Meanwhile, blue equals the second and the monastery they got. Yellow closes the road for 4 points. And now has to decide where to place the monastery themselves. Quite likely this year would be nice. This option can work, especially considering you'd love to add a curve here to snatch additional 4 points if you get the city completion. But there's also a tiny problem attached to this. It's already the second road monastery, so it could be blocked pretty easily. Yeah, Mr. 1 quite likely would love to kill this square, but save his road somehow. And that's not gonna happen. Either this square, and with it the road and the city dies, or yellow is pretty likely to complete this city. Still 3 starting tiles and 1 rose left, so 4 pieces over here. And this was the third vanilla, so 2 vanillas left for the other spot. Yellow doesn't shy away from this here, even though the block and kill of the square will be incoming. Not sure why Mr. 1 thinks so long about this, but there's no way doesn't use this here. If it were Dorito, maybe he'd consider opening the city somewhere, but this here is a surefire block. So, second horse gone. Now there's only 1 remaining to complete this city. And if this doesn't happen, this would look pretty grim for HotlyHotly here. Not just because this is only a 2-point difference for them right now, but because they'd have a long-term meeple minority due to these 2 invested meeples here. Meanwhile, Mr. 1 created a nice monastery spot up top. Of course, hopes to dodge a crossroad, which would kill this square. Yeah, what to do with a simple curve? Well, you could use it here and try then to indirectly protect this square by obstructing this square. I really don't see much else. Additionally, this also obstructs this square and prevents yellow from extending the field this way. And then if you'd get the monastery, or maybe a vanilla, could even opt to meeple the field yourself. Yeah, here goes the crossroad, and that's a no-brainer. I mean, still 2 monasteries out there. Why not create the evil hamster? Even though yellow is a tad more likely to get the monastery, it's not a given they'd use it there. because they'd rather not let these two meeples off the hook. Yeah, farmer is a worthy consideration. 6 points now, still two meeples in hand. Plus there are two cities which could be completed, and there is no really easy way to attack the field later on. So the only one for now would be here, and a two-step option on left side, or rather three-piece option. So yellow hopes still to get the last remaining vanilla. I think when they place this curve to limit the city, or rather protect the city, there were still 3 vanillas out there. So losing out on all 3 and losing out on both horses would be pretty tough and pretty unlikely, but unlikely happens every so often. That's just the nature of the business. And with the spread now being at 19 points, without both these cities, there is no way for yellow to win this one. Although the monastery, 7 points, but then no. So I don't think there will be a way to get out of this quagmire here without at least one of the cities. So Mrwan1's problem for now is this position here, which creates a juicy 8-point city for anyone to take. And there are still a lot of caps out there. The only good news is, though, that yellow would use the vanilla over here. So blue would be a bit more likely to be able to use the city themselves. Instead, they opt to open a new city, and we'll never see this meeple back in their hands again, unless they draw quite a lot of pieces to do so. And well, it might happen. It's just unlikely. So blue closes this city here just to get a meeple back in hand. A -2-point move, which allows yellow to go for this loop road. So here we go. Blue meeple is officially dead. And stuck with 5 points. That's no good. Or not good enough. Now we are at -19 still. Or again. Another city cap, likely using it somewhere here or maybe at the bottom. Still enough caps out there to use it. even though with these 3 big city tiles, or rather, did I say 3? Yeah, I said 3 because I only meant to highlight the cows, as the horse, of course, would be used by yellow for their city. Um, there's a bit of risk, but still more caps out there than obstruction pieces. Yellow opening another field because they need to risk a bit here to close the gap, and they are rewarded by getting the next city cap. But there aren't that many caps to close this city, so this poor farmer might be stuck at 6 points. Meanwhile, yellow tries to harass blue city, but blue gets a cap immediately, and this should be the dagger unless yellow gets both of the desperately needed city pieces. Because now blue has meeples in hand, has quite the lead. And this here is a 4-2 in yellow's favor. And if they'd get the remaining horse, which comes without a shield, because both shielded horses are gone. And why didn't I look what yellow drew? So this here is dead. At least this one is closed. But looks like it just won't be enough. Let's quickly check. There is still a way to attack this field by getting these 2 pieces like this and taking a 5-point road. Whoever did this meant to use this one here. So this would equal or result in 14 points, which would be pretty nice. So Mr.1 should definitely kill this one. Maybe he even thinks about attacking themselves. And why not, if you have the meeples in hand and at least would get the 3 points, which could just be sufficient to win this one here. Just preventing yellow from taking any big features. Of course, there's also a 6-point field to consider. But in this case, I'd favor the previously mentioned move. Yep, and they found it. And this more or less should seal the deal here. There could be 6-point field over here. There is this 6-point field which yellow will take right now. But I really don't see a way how they would, well, not anymore anyway. So this one will go to Mr.1, even if this one successfully attacks the field. Yep, adding more salt to the wound. Why not? Rub it in when you can. Enjoy it and then rinse and repeat. Yeah, come on. Put it somewhere. Take 5 points. But I guess considering this year, thinking whether it makes sense, and yes, it makes sense as we can see, because it would reduce the chances of yellow to connect in half, but it's not successful. So precise move by blue, even though it didn't matter and it didn't work. Yeah. Maybe they took a page out of Nalaheim's book. As he said, he's boring like that, playing precise no matter the situation. So it's 1-0 for Mr. Wan. I'm sorry, I don't speak, but at least I understand this symbol, and that's a 2. And this short reply might be an okay, so I guess we'll have ourselves a 2-minute break. Let's check. Yay, can I take 2-minute break? And I'm pretty sure. Why does this not close? Oh, I know. It opens in the same window. Terrible. Well, so we have a 2-minute break. Let's take a quick look at HotlyHotly's stats. Try to figure out the peak rating. Well, with over 10,000 games. Let's see if this even works. Because sadly, this seems to be generated every time you run it, open it, refresh it, whatever, instead of cached somehow. So more often than not, at least for me, it doesn't work. And then let me check in another window. Don't like to miss the start of the second game. Yeah, okay. Doesn't work. Again. Hey, here we go. So we have multiple peaks over 700, and looks like the rightmost one should be their top rating. So let's actually check masters. Where is the Taiwanese flag? There we have it. And here we go. HotlyHotly peak this year 753, and there's Mr. 1 at the bottom of this list, slightly above 700, achieved 6 weeks ago. So 2 minutes should be over, and they started, and we missed likely 2 moves. Oh, damn it. Even more. I'm sorry, folks. So looks like Mr. 1 placed the starting tile, but this was the second one. He got the other one as well. So Mr. 1 started by taking the city. HotlyHotly took the road. Mr. 1 indicate the numbers, took the monastery. HotlyHotly added the monastery as road and meepled it, of course. Good on you. Mr. 1 placed the next tile, and then everything else you witnessed live. Early farmer might work, but there are options to wall this off here and over here, and if this city doesn't get closed, then the early farmer would suffer. So an immediate vanilla cap is just what the doctor had ordered. Yeah, that's a nice monastery. Problem will be this square, but he gets to save it immediately. Would be iffy because only one starting tile is remaining in the deck. But if you can save it immediately, why not? So there goes. Last remaining starting tile. Nice monastery spot for anyone to take. If he wrote square for yellow, because the quadruple crossroad is already gone, and blue has a cap in the vicinity, so it's pretty likely to kill or try to kill this from the top. Blue gets to take the monastery square, and it looks like easy game so far for them. But this square here is definitely problematic, and again, same situation as before with this square. Yellow doesn't get a city piece or fitting city piece to block this, and then blue immediately gets a road piece to save their monasteries from destruction. First cow drawn by Mr. 1. Bad news for yellow, it's one with a shield. And with this one stuck, this one on a farm, yellow could use another cow pretty soon. Yeah, what to do with a simple straight? Some way to obstruct this here. Yeah. Not sure that's... Although with a lot of curves out there, not allowing yellow to use a curve to liberate the monastery works, and if you then pile it on, try to kill this, for example, like this. Why not? Works nice, or would work nice. Would work nicely. Yeah, do you waste a beautiful city cap on a monastery liberation? And do you take this city/ruin? There's only one horse remaining. And I'd say if you use the cap there, why not take the city? Sure, it's only 4 points for now, but you could pile bigger pieces on there. And if you hit the jackpot and get the horse, this would be worth 5 points because the third horse comes with a shield. Maybe you could even threaten to close this. Well, blue decided to not meeple the city, attacked a 6-point field. Well, a field with a bit of open green space, so maybe it'll be worth it in the end. This here is a bit puzzling. Not sure that's the move to win it in the long run. Get saved by the deck by drawing this dagger before yellow could kill it. And again, this time yellow would have needed a road piece. This time they didn't get one. Helge says this here. I think blocking yellow monastery was more important with the last vanilla cap. Oh, yeah, totally missed that. Thanks, Helge. So blue could have used the monastery here and would have killed this square, and considering there were still Doritos out there and both splitters, because this one was drawn afterwards, blue still would have had 4 pieces to liberate their own monastery. So Helge is absolutely right. Yellow connects. This one is tied. Yellow has actually no incentive apart from getting more meeples to close this one, because they'd only earn 1 point, but yellow would get 3. And right now yellow has more meeples in hand, so it's pretty unlikely they do anything about it. So yellow now takes this. Finally is able to liberate the road meeple, and would love to do something about this here, but there are still 2 curves and 2 daggers out there, so there is no block from the top. There's only an option to limit it. And this gutsy move gets rewarded. 6 additional points for yellow. Blue closes the road. Splitter would be nice for blue over here later, adding another city to their field and threatening to close this city. As counterintuitive as it may look, this here has a higher probability of closing the city than using it 1 square to the left, because there's only the 1 cow remaining, but there are still 2 daggers and 1 horse available, so this would work. Did I say horse? Oh, come on. Rose. Sounds a bit alike. And this here would work. And the beauty of this is more or less the only piece, not more or less, the only piece for blue to at least prevent yellow from running away with the city is the last remaining cow. So cow is critical. Yep, blue does what they have to do, tries to kill this. This would work, but it's yellow's turn. Damn it. They try to do something against this platform, but I'm really not sure why they didn't go here. Because in this case, they would have killed the cow option and limited the blocking square. So I don't get this placement. But in the end, it quite likely won't matter. Difference is at 25 points now. Yellow threatens, or rather completes, on this attack, takes a road and secures the win. There is no silver bullet remaining in the deck for blue, so we will get to witness a decider. Maybe I should sound a bit more enthusiastic, but I'm just me. On the other hand, blue is over here, try to connect to the field themselves, and now they'll successfully do. They just think, okay, now they don't. They go for this city. Why not? It's still likely to complete. Yeah, if you want to be precise, go over here. If you don't, then yellow might play this move and prevent your city from being closed. Yeah, blue didn't play precise. And let's see if yellow finds this move. Else, of course, with 35 points plus, they could also take the 7 points up top, but overall, this year is definitely the better move, preventing your opponent from adding 12 points. No, 15. No, 12 points. It's 15 points because of this meeple, but the farm on the right side would get 3 points as well. So, yep, found it. Nice one, HotlyHotly. And Mr. 1 takes a 6-point field for a gain of 3 points. Yeah, could have used the 4 points over here. Would have been a bit more precise. So we get a third game, a decider. Looks like no break this time. Let's check. Nope, nothing. Again. Yeah. I wish there were a follow feature on BGA which would transport you to started games once the players decided to start them. Would save me from refreshing again and again. I have a refresh button over here, by the way, and I could use it, and it works fine. But it's a bit annoying because it hammers BGA servers a bit more than just refreshing a page. So here we go. Third game, decisive one. And one of these two will advance to the semifinals in the end. Let's see. Mr. 1 starting off. With a standard move, HotlyHotly quite likely. Whoa. Okay, that's a move which I definitely wouldn't have expected. Usually, I just expect someone to counter this because else you risk them running away with a 8, 10, 12-point city. In this case, maybe even 14 if you don't get anything to attack. And yeah, not a fan as well because you kill any options of using a splitter later on. And if you go for the blocked, so add something over here, you'd expose this city to an attack, even though there are only 2 horses remaining. So that's, oh, well, really, let's say I'm surprised some of these moves here. This, of course, totally makes sense for HotlyHotly as well as this one. Reclosing the city, going for the monastery completion here. And sometime HotlyHotly might even snatch the road to not serve it to blue once they connect here. Yeah, normal move. Open up a cap next to a monastery. Nice every day of the week. Some might consider this here, but in this case, definitely not, because you really want to create this here for exactly this piece. So here we go. Blue gets the splitter. Can't use it over here. Not sure that curve is really the best move in this position. Still not sure, that is. Okay, then with blue's farmer over here, I expect a farmer on the left side. Yellow, they have 3 meeples in hand, 4 on the board. Okay, this takes precedence, so they have to defend the monasteries. Blue might snap this city. Maybe even this way. Yeah. So many hotkeys. Some are bound to fail sometimes. Yep, and they do conventional option, going for the double Dorito closure. Why not? Should work in quite a lot of cases. Yeah. The 3 daggers are still available, so still iffy, but yellow takes 2 points, not 4. just to have a chance to limit Blue's city to the last remaining starting tile. So Yellow has their priorities straight as straight can be. And quite likely they'll attack over here if given pieces they can't use elsewhere profitably to limit this square to the last remaining rows. 2 are already on the board. And because Blue only has the 1 meeple in hand, Yellow doesn't use the Dorito over here. They would net a few points from the city, but it's a city on Blue's field and they would extend the road. So wisely, they don't use it there. The 3 meeples in hand, sometime road, maybe field, and then this one here. For now, they try to create, well, use a 6-point loop road. Still a lot of straights out there, so good investment. With all crossroads remaining, it's also likely to complete. Only problem for this loop road is that all starting tiles are gone. But with only city pieces to create a blocking platform available and Blue needing city pieces elsewhere, maybe even here, it's unlikely to get blocked. Yeah, nice idea by Yellow here to limit this to the Dorito as well. They'll jump on this if they get a chance, now this year, but maybe later. So I guess Mrwan1 needs to go this route and hope that Yellow doesn't get any city cap or city piece. Any would work. So it's unlikely with only 12 pieces out there. But still, yeah, that's a good idea. There aren't that many caps to close this city anymore. 2 versus 1 meeple up top, and Yellow only has a +1 lead out of it. Lead, not lead. And they have added a cap to their field, so these 13 points could be nixed by Yellow attacking over here. So Blue at least prevents the stealing of this road by Yellow, and there is no easy way anymore to attack the field this way. So finally someone uses the Dorito there, and I wonder why Blue didn't use it up top, because this here could still be closed. But I guess they expect a fight for this field and want to have more ammunition in form of meeples. In this way, you at least get a second meeple in hand and have the option of getting this one back. Here is an attacking option, but I think Mr. 1 now thinks about this move and counts how many options there are for yellow to close this city with simple caps. And given that the move over here would at least eliminate the 3 vanillas and the 1 remaining left-handed dagger, I think this is a good investment. Else there's always adding this to your road and preventing yellow from attacking this one. Considering it's at 10, now 11 points. Why no? Yeah, yellow missed the chance. This year, you mean, Helge, right? This would have been the best option, but we still have quite a lot of tiles to go, and if yellow completes over here, they'll get another chance. There's still this option. Once they complete here, they could attack on the top. This here would work as well, so I don't think this will be their last chance. Again, blue prioritizes getting a meeple back over extending the city. Here we go. Yellow closes the road, opens up the field, and blue quite likely could go over here. This here. Or just use it to block these 2 options. But the downside of this move is it also indirectly protects this square, because in a case like this, then you can't really easily block this one, whereas if blue were to attack here, then any big piece or Dorito, which are still 3 remaining, would kill the square immediately. So both of these moves have their downsides. And the most unblockable attacking option right now would be on the left side. But of course, HotlyHotly uses the vanilla to close their city, adds the farmer, sure, abundance of meeple in hand. And they still have a chance to win this without tying this field. There are still 2 caps. Let me highlight them. The critical pieces over here, the rose and the right-handed dagger, which not only would allow you to close this city to gain 6 points, -3 for blue's farmer, so 3 points net, but also add a farmer of your own. So then we are at +6 again, with an option of another 6 points by successfully connecting to blue's field up top. So potential for 12 points, which would be more or less all they need. Yeah, that's the most annoying piece you could get in this situation. There is no way to place it anywhere else. And the only way you even get a point out of it is by meepling this one. which I'm not sure I would have done even with 4 meeples in hand. Mr. One with dagger, not the one yellow needs for their square. But why not take the city at the bottom? Still alive. It would be worth a bunch of points. And even if it wouldn't work out, it's still a few points. Well, okay. This works to block this one, but it gives a second route for the other farmer. I'm not really sure this was the best way to approach this situation. For example, this year would have been way nicer, and here we go. They get the vanilla, which they could have used to kill the road and prevent this one from connecting. But hindsight is hindsight. So some might consider this block, but why? There's this square here. There are lots of curvy pieces or crossroads out there. So it really doesn't matter. You can't close your city. No, never. And yellow doesn't jump on this chance here to connect because they fear this connection. Whoa. Yeah. HotlyHotly thinks how to place its monastery like this. Monastery? Oh man. Crossroad like this or like this. That's a good question. But I think in this case, the answer is pretty simple. Like this. And then hope to just draw the curve. So blue doesn't connect here. And even if blue connects and you would connect, well, in the end, you'd lose 3 points, which could be decisive. But the road here alone nets you 9 points and gives you a meeple, which you can't use, but still. So maybe they just consider this here, which would also net 9 points, but wouldn't give them the option to connect and wouldn't give blue the option to steal the 6-point field away from yellow if they'd get the curve. Yeah, so do we do it or don't we? There are 5 tiles out there, 2 crossroads, 1 curve, the last cow, and 1 right-handed dagger. So there's no way for yellow to block this square. And blue gets 3 pieces, yellow just 2. So there's a 60% chance for blue to connect here. And if blue connects, then they might use the connection up top as well. The problem though is blue can't go over here before getting the curve. Else they risk, of course, losing completely. So it's not the 60% that you'd lose the complete field, it's less. So my gut feeling would be just to go over here. If you wanna play it safe, go over here. There's no chance to close this city. There's no chance to take these points. This here quite obviously was the right choice because you have a meeple surplus. There's no way anymore to attack over here. And everything else is unlikely, to say the least. So yellow could create options to attack on their next turn up top or on the right side, but this would be blocked. So this doesn't work for them. So in the end, it comes down to the curve. So if you put this like this and you get a curve, then it should be a win. Although there is a counter move available for blue even. Going over here. And like this. Adding a farmer. But blue can't afford to use a lot of pieces without getting points. Right now, if this scoring is correct, they are at +7, but once yellow uses either option 1 or option 2 up top, yellow will be at +2. So blue has to score a few points somewhere. So HotlyHotly's clock is down to 2 minutes. I think they started this move at 6 or maybe even 7 something. And here we go. They opt to go this route. So if they get a curve, they connect. If they don't, blue can't connect them to the field. Yeah. Should have rotated it. Might have seen it. So the long thinking resulted in a nice option. But now they'll get 3 more points for +1. And it looks like they'll need the curve to win. So then actually didn't matter in this iteration. So sure, they take 3 points. No, 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 no. Oh, damn it. This here, of course. Then you add the dagger to your arsenal of winning pieces. So, oh, shame, shame. Mr. 1 gets the curve. Of course, doesn't connect because there is no threat of yellow connecting over here. And there's sadly no second farmer trying to connect. But -1. And what to do with the curve? Oh, and the tricky part is Mr. 1 is the starting player. So HotlyHotly will score at least 2 points with any piece. And there is no field available to score 3 points. There's no road available to score 3 points. So whoever gets the dagger could score these 3 points. But even if Mr. 1 would get the dagger, they just tie the game. So this doesn't help them. So I think the only option for them is no, not like this. Like this, going for the loop road, hoping to get the dagger. But even that wouldn't help, because then yellow could just kill this option and take 1 point. And the other option with the curve like this wouldn't work. Oh, it would have worked. Oh well. Yellow gets the 2 additional points. Blue will take these 3, tie the game, and lose it. So I'll definitely go deeper into analysis of these last moves. So stay tuned. Yeah. Oh, they blocked this. Sorry. I don't know why. And I mixed up the daggers again. I think some of you are accustomed to dagger mix-ups. So HotlyHotly wins this. Let's see. And if they are done with chatting, we'll go to our friend Google Translate again. And then we'll check out the last moves Yeah, so HotlyHotly says it looks like a draw. Mr. 1 says miscalculated. Red made a mistake and should have won. Yeah, well, I don't know who Red is. Let me quickly. Red is Mr. 1. Okay. And Mr. 1 said calculate correctly and would have been a draw. And you can occupy the city. Standing in place wins. Whatever standing in place wins means. Okay, let's take a look at the replay quite simply. And again, forgot to check the specific move. It should be around round 30 as usual. Who was starting player? HotlyHotly. So here comes the crossroads situation. Let's just not consider this one. We've talked a lot about this. Yeah, taking this ruin is definitely okay. There aren't really that many features out there which would net you more than these 2 points. I mean, they could have added the cow there and then used the meeple later on, but there aren't really that good. There aren't really features to score more. So the one option I meant was this here for yellow to try and attack the field again. So quick calculation. If blue doesn't get the crossroad immediately, then yellow gets one of the curvies, takes 3 points for the road, and successfully attacks the field. They are at -2. So let's consider the only option for blue then to regain the majority of the field. So yellow attacks here. And if blue gets the crossroad, so in one of 3 cases, blue wins. Oh, actually, need to remember. No, that's the wrong. Bear with me. There we go. I think we could increase this. Oh, damn it. Don't have the feature. Oh, well. Okay, so these are the permutations after yellow's move. So the left column is blue's pieces, and the middle column would be yellow's pieces, and the right column are blue pieces again. So In cases where blue gets the crossroads, these two, farmer is gone, so there's the farmer again, then blue would win. Would blue win? That's the question. Let's check. So please bear with me. Blue adds this farmer. Yellow adds this farmer. They are still at -2. Blue blocks over here with a crossroad, takes 2 points. So blue would be at +2, so +4 total. And yellow can't connect to the field up top, but yellow could still connect the curve. So in the case of yellow getting the curve, which is this one, yellow would win. So then else, if blue gets any of these, they can't really do anything on their next move with the dagger. Let's just let them add the dagger to one of their cities. Which would be a +1. And then if yellow gets the curve, they could connect with one of these two. Of course, they'd use the upper one because they want to lose these. They don't want to lose these 6 points. So in case yellow gets the curve, they'd win. If yellow gets the crossroad, they can't connect with this one, they can't connect with this one, and they'd just be outscored by blue, I guess. Oh, let's check. So blue still at +2. These here would be +3, and yellow getting the crossroad for 3 points. That would be a tie, and then blue scores something on their last turn. So this would be a win for blue. If blue gets the curve, and here it gets interesting. Of course, they could connect this farmer to the main field and then prevent yellow from tying the field. But the connection over here with the curve deducts these 3 points as they'd unite their fields. So instead of a +2, they'd be at -1. And then it comes down to whoever scores more on their last turn with the remaining meeple in hand. As we've seen, the prime suspect to scoring would be this here, but at -1, just to prevent yellow's field attack. There's no way for blue to get ahead. Even if they'd score the 3 points, they'd be at +2. But yellow always has this option with the crossroad or any other road for 2 points. So this would result in a tie. Ergo, this connection does not make any sense for blue. So they won't connect there. In this case, these two cases drawing the curve, they just have to hope to draw the dagger as well. And if they don't get the dagger, then yellow wins. So this case goes to yellow. And now let's consider this one here. Blue at +2. They would get 3 points on their last turn. And yellow only gets 2. So this goes to blue. So to sum up, field attack by yellow would be a 50% win for them. If, very big if, as you might have noticed, if all I've said is actually correct. So, but they didn't go for the field attack. Let's check if what they did is actually more likely to win. So if I remember correctly, yellow took these points here. Now let's check. Did they? I think they did. Yeah, they did. Okay, so yellow takes 3 points. And I have to go back again. Else the permutation tool doesn't work as it should. Color switch. So yellow goes over here, takes 3 points. Oh, damn, now it's the score. Now the score is wrong. Let's go back again. Add another move to trigger a decent scoring calculation. And then it should work. At least I hope so. Yeah, dreaded animations. We are all accustomed to them. Okay, now the score works. +2 blue. Yellow takes this one for +1. Blue gets 2 moves, but sadly only has the 1 meeple in hand, else it would be a tad easier for them. So 1 or 2 permutations are pretty easy. If yellow gets the curve, yellow wins this game because they take all these nice cities by unifying the fields. So this is a yellow win, and everything else when they get the curve as well. Nothing to calculate there. This looks good. So maybe this here even was the more precise and better move. So let's check. What else can blue do? Blue could use a crossroad to score 2 points. And on their last turn with a curve, take 2 points somewhere else. So from +1, we go to 4 points for blue, -3 or +3 blue. But yellow would get the dagger in between for 3 points. So this would be a tie, and a tie goes to yellow. What else to consider? These moves with crossroad for yellow are just 2 points for them, either here or at any road piece or end. It doesn't matter. There is no field available for them to take. So they are at +1. They'd get 2 points with the crossroad, so +3, and blue would have to score 4 points with 2 pieces. Doesn't look possible. That's actually quite enlightening. This year, 3 points or 1 point or 1 point there, doesn't matter. And then with the curve, only 2 points, so 3 points, and that's not enough. They'd lose. And in this case, they'd lose as well. So to me, it looks like my idea of attacking the field was definitely way inferior than this precise move by yellow, which wins them the game. Because I don't see any way for blue to eke out the win here, due to them being starting player and needing a +1. So let's go to the next move again. So it's +1 yellow. And sure, the most blue could score would be 5 points by getting the crossroad and then later the dagger to take this ruin, which would be enough if it weren't for the curve that would add yellow's farmer to their big farm in the middle. So yeah, I hope all this was correct, and then this move here by yellow was indeed the find of the day and the move that saved them the day. And it was the easiest one anyway. So if your heuristic is just take the most points, if you don't know what to do, you would have won this game as well. Congratulations. Okay, that's enough for post-game analysis. As I said, today, later in just an hour, it's the UCOC, which stands for Ukraine Carcassonne Online Championship, second quarterfinal between Nazario and Random 23. And then there is the, let's say, highlight of the week. Tomorrow evening at 17 UTC, Lawyer Basiliuk. And now that I see this here, 19 UTC is in 3 hours. 19 UTC +2, which is my time zone, is in 1 hour. So I'll see you in 3 hours or in 25 hours for Lawyer versus Basiliuk, if you prefer. Thanks for tuning in and staying until the very end. I'm happy you're still here. Like this stream if you want. Subscribe if you like more content like this. Let me know in the comments. If you'd like to help me on stream, as you can see, sometimes jumping in the deep end here alone on my own is a bit annoying and tough on me. Let me know. I'm always looking for co-hosts. So that's it for now. Bye-bye. If I find the end button, where is it? Come on. Yeah, there's end stream. See you, folks. Bye.